Brick by brick! Brick by brick!
From campus unrest over the war in Gaza, to abortion rights, to immigration and the border, every major election issue is converging here in the battleground state of Arizona. And one group could decide it all: young Latino voters. Here in the western U.S., 4 out of every 10 new voters are young Latinos. That makes them a hugely powerful voting bloc, but only if they actually turn out to vote.
We can still keep progressing, for sure. To take the temperature of this critical demographic in Arizona, we met with young Mexican Americans from across the political spectrum. Some voting Biden, some voting Trump, others undecided. Are you guys all registered to vote?
Yes.
Do you know at this point in time who you're going to vote for?
I would say with the nominees, I would vote Democrat.
And are you excited to vote for Biden?
I'm super excited to vote. Well, just to vote in general, maybe not for Biden. Maybe he's just a little boring, maybe. I want to see more excitement with representing me.
In nearly 24 interviews with young Latinos in 3 swing states, NBC News heard over and over they were uninspired by the candidates and disillusioned with the system. It's not that they don't care. In fact, they're passionate about the issues.
Women's rights, I feel like housing is a really big issue for me, immigration.
The environment, that's my big concern as a biology student.
Women's rights as well. Everything going on also in Palestine as well.
As a student loan debt, for sure.
And they're open to new ideas. Take abortion, a major issue in Arizona where a 19th century ban went into effect only to be repealed again. And where liberal advocates put a measure protecting abortion rights on November's ballot. These 4 young voters support abortion rights, even though many come from Catholic families with conservative views on abortion. Do any of you find that your positions on this question, the abortion question specifically, as young people are different from the position of your parents, grandparents, etc.?
For me, yes, because it's taboo. No one wants to talk about it. It's you better not get pregnant, but if you do, you better keep the baby. And that's all that's to it.
Do you find that either of the major political parties has been doing a good job of reaching people like you and persuading you of things?
It hasn't. It's a lot of you versus me. It's a lot of it's them, they're the ones thinking like this. We're the normal ones.
It's hard because it is a very two-party system. It's Republican or Democrat. And when you only have really one choice and it's the choice you don't really like, what can you do, really?
Have you considered just not voting for either Biden or Trump?
Yeah, I have definitely considered that. And I have been heavily thinking about just not voting at all.
Have you decided yet?
I haven't decided yet, no.
This could spell trouble for Biden and the Democrats, who have historically counted on both young and Latino voters. In the 2022 midterms, more than 2/3 of Latinos under 30 voted for Democratic House candidates. And in 2020, young voters of all backgrounds backed Biden over Trump, 59 to 33%. If young Latinos don't turn out for Biden in large enough numbers in enough swing states, that alone could swing the race to Trump. Some young Mexican Americans say they'll vote Biden if only to protect their undocumented loved ones from Trump's promised mass deportations.
We were behaving in a way of survival mode under the Trump administration, and I feel like I don't want that to happen again.
But that's not something Biden can take for granted. With disapproval over his handling of the border growing, even among Latinos.
I'm part of the College Assistance Migrants Program.
Juan Carlos Avitia is 18 years old. His immigrant mother raised him both in the U.S. and Mexico.
I'm not saying I'm against immigration. My family's immigrants. What I'm saying is we can have thousands of people come here without being properly documented and not worry about our national security.
But like Biden, Trump has a popularity problem, even with conservative first-time voters like Juan Carlos. Are you excited to vote?
I mean, not too much excited. It really is what it is, because we haven't had the best candidates in a good while. Trump's been in court right now because of his cases. But if it was my pick between, a bad candidate and a worse candidate, you have to go for the one that's least worse.
And you think Trump is the less worse of the two options? Beyond November, young people's dissatisfaction with the system is something that both parties and America at large will have to reckon with.
And with that, David Noriega joins us tonight from Los Angeles. So, David, a lot can happen between now and the election. Do you think a change in the economy or a conviction or acquittal of former President Trump in his trials could shape how these voters make their choice? Or do you feel that their mind is already made up?
Tom, their minds are definitely not already made up. This is a very fluid voting bloc, and the parties and the candidates, if they know what's good for them, are going to be working between now and November to win them over. That said, the flip side of that is they could also very easily lose them. You mentioned Trump's trials. You know, the one young conservative Trump supporter that I spoke to said the main thing he doesn't like about Trump is the fact that he is currently undergoing a trial, and if there is a criminal conviction, that could easily push him further away from being willing to vote for Trump. The same goes for Biden. If something gets worse in the economy, for example, or there's something else that these young people perceive as a misstep with regards to an issue that they care about, like the campus protests or something similar, that could also push them further away from their willingness to vote for Biden. This is all very up in the air, very up for grabs.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.